think, one of the most powerful things for me was actually talking to, my business friends. I got so busy after the acquisition, I was in a bubble. I was just doing what I needed to do. I was working massive hours. I wasn't really connecting or talking to people. And you miss that. You need that. You need people who get it. My partner is a great support, but he's a government job. He's an engineer. He can't quite grasp the stress and everything that's involved. So getting back out there, having catch ups with my friends to really talk things through was probably the biggest shifter, to be like, oh God, yeah, okay, yeah, that was a good question. You're right. What am I doing?
Yeah, sometimes you need some people, like, you're so right. Oh my God, you don't ask yourself the right questions sometimes. And it is that person that's a little bit objective and out of the emotional roller coaster that we're on that says something, and you're like, oh yeah, it's so obvious.
And I think especially because we get caught in comparing ourselves.
Mm.
And again, it's not until you sit down, you chat with people, and it's like, oh well, I've got to, like, so and so is doing XYZ, and then you might be like, no, they're not. They're not enjoying that. They're not happy, or it's like, oh, okay, well, hang on. Why am I chasing something or comparing myself to this phantom?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so good you said that. I remember once I caught up with another startup founder, and we were talking about somebody, and I was like, oh my God, they're killing it. Like, rah, rah, rah. And she's like, no, they're not. She's like, I know them. And I was like, oh, and it is, we put out the highlight reel, right? Like, no one's, I mean, I think more so today, people are sharing the downside of things, but for the most part, everyone's out there going, look at how much of a gigantic success I am, because they're trying to get more customers, trying to grow, trying to get over whatever it is they're trying to get over. So I get it. But yeah, we do compare ourselves to people sometimes that do not have the same goals as we have, are not actually succeeding in the way that we want to succeed. But yeah, we chase this version of success or business that is not what we actually want.
Yeah. And I think, agency land and marketing space as well. I think for women, it can be interesting because there's a lot of men out there, and, there's many of them that do an awesome job, but there's also a lot which, it's that aggressive bro marketing techniques. And, you know, like some of them, I know, and they're fantastic and they're an absolute laugh, but they're okay with burning clients.
Yes.
It's this different mentality. I think, overall, and again, not everyone, but a lot of the women, that I know, that they care. They really care about delivering great results. They don't want to, you know, piss off a client and burn them and just whatever, we'll bring on the next one and we'll just say that went really well in our marketing. So, even that, I think you see this quick growth that
Yeah.
other people achieve, and sometimes it is men, but it's like, I don't want to operate like that. That it makes me icky.
Totally. And it's, I just find it interesting because the world is small. The world is so small and people do talk, like
Mm.
I just feel like we do have to operate from a space of integrity, not only because it's the right thing to do, but because if we want any longevity in our business, it's so crazy. I remember when I lost my first client and then they came back, like they tried it themselves and then they came back, and I was like, it was because we did such a good job, but we were graceful on the way out that they came back. Sure, everyone goes through phases. Like, oftentimes brands will outsource, bring things in-house, outsource again. And I was like, it was because we operated from a space of integrity that that person came back, but
Mm.
if we were awful on the way out, if we burnt that client, that would never happen. And repeat business is just so valuable that
Hmm.
I just feel like you have to operate from a good place.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes that means, okay, like, yeah, we're putting the brakes on growth, or we're
Mm.
changing what we're doing, or we're saying no, and that can be hard to do. You can feel like, oh, I'm
Yes.
going against the grain, or I just should be saying yes, or I should keep growing. But it's like, oh no, sometimes yeah, slowing down or stopping or changing is actually more aligned and longer term better.
Yeah, absolutely.